Recognize this? It's an old rotary phone. It's not wireless, it's really old. And no, I did not know Alexander Graham Bell. But if it was wired, it would still work. It's still functional. It's interesting to look at, but it's clearly outdated. And you know, some folks treat the Ten Commandments like an old rotary phone. They're interesting to look at, but clearly outdated. So do we still need the Ten Commandments today? Haven't they been replaced by the grace of God and the New Covenant? Well, I'm no theologian. I've never been to seminary or Bible school, but I do have an opinion, and here it is. First of all, God promised a new covenant, not one written on stone tablets, but one written on hearts. Jeremiah 31 tells us that God would put his law within us, not just before us. Hebrews, I think it's chapter 8, repeats that promise 2 times. And then in Paul, I believe it's Romans chapter 2, says that even people without the written law still show the work of the law written on their hearts, which means through their conscience. In other words, God did not erase his law, he just relocated it. The Ten Commandments were originally written on stone, a solid, heavy, set-in-place stone, and you know, that tells us something about the holiness of God, because stone doesn't bend to opinions. It doesn't update with culture, and it doesn't care how sincerely you disagree with it. But here's the thing. Stone has a problem because it can sit right there in front of you and never change you a bit. And that's why the new covenant matters so much. You see, God didn't lower his standard, he moved it. Now he works inside us. That same holy law that once confronted us from the outside now convicts, guides, and shapes us from within. And that's called the grace of God. Grace puts God's holiness to work in us. And here's why the Ten Commandments still matter today. They still serve at least 3 important purposes today. First of all, they reveal who God really is. Before the commandments ever tell us what to do, they show us what God is like. He is faithful, so he forbids adultery. He is truthful, so he forbids lying. He is sovereign, so he forbids idolatry. He is just, so he forbids theft and murder. You see, the law is not just a set of random rules. It's a reflection of God's character. And if you get rid of the commandments, you don't just forget right and wrong. You lose a clear view of who God really is. And secondly, the commandments reveal who we are. The law, the commandments, are like a mirror, and a mirror doesn't wash your face. It shows you that your face needs washing. The commandments were never meant to save anyone, because no one can keep the commandments at all. Only one person, that was Jesus. He kept them all. The commandments were meant to show us why we need saving. In the book of Romans, I think it's chapters 7 through 13, Paul said the law exposes sin, but it can't cure it, and that's still true today. And thirdly, they guide a redeemed life. The Ten Commandments don't tell us how to be saved, but they show us how saved people should live. When God puts his law in our hearts, we obey out of love, not fear. And we don't earn grace by obeying. We obey because we have grace. It's kind of like the difference between a child who cleans their room because they fear punishment, or a child cleaning their room because they love their parents and they want to please them. It's the same action, but a different heart, a different attitude. So, are the 10 Commandments still relevant today? Yes, they are, but not as a ladder of 10 rungs to climb into heaven. However, they are a revelation of God's holiness. They're a reminder of our need, a roadmap for a transformed life, like a new creation, just as the Bible says. The new covenant didn't throw away the law. It fulfilled it by placing it where it could finally do its work, not on cold stone, but on living hearts. And that's the good news, because stone never loved God back. Well, that's it for today. Thanks for listening, and until next time, God bless you. Bye-bye.